Welcome to the Java class. In this video, we will discuss the nested and inner class. In Java, you can define a class within another class. Such a class is known as the nested class. I will repeat once again. You can define a class within the another class called as a nested class. Class inside the class. Okay. There is one class inside that class. There is another class called as nested class. Okay, here for example, I have a class. Okay, so here I have a class that is class, what I say, class outer class, that is outer class, and class has one component, say inside the outer class I have another class, that is class nested class. So this is called as the nested class inside the class. In other words, you can say that class inside the class. Okay, the class is a class within the other class. It has access to a number of unclosing classes, means outer classes. Since inner class exists within the outer class, you must create the object for the outer class. First you need to create the object of the outer class, then you need to create, then you have to go for the inner class object. The condition is, for you want to create the object of the nested class, then you need to create the object of the outer class, and then you can create the object of the nested class or inner class. So here is the example, that is, so here I have class, that is the CPU, class CPU. Okay, so class CPU, I have a variables, that is double price. Okay, so I will declare another class inside the class CPU, that is processor. Okay, so inside the processor class I will create a variable, that is double course. I will create another variable of string, that is manufacturer. Okay, next I will create the method, that is double, else I will create a method, that is void get cache. Here the method is here public. Okay, so next is what I will do is I will print the cache. So system dot out dot println. Okay, so I will print hi hello. I will print hi inside the get cache method. Okay, so here I have created a class that is the CPU. Inside the class CPU I have declared one variable, that is the price. Inside the class CPU I have declared another class, that is class inside the class, that is processor. I have declared two variables, one is course and another one is manufacturer. I have created the method, that is get cache. Inside the get cache I am printing the machine, that is hi. Okay, so next is I will create the class, that is main class. Class ABC. Okay, else I will text class. Okay, the class name is TextInner, which contains the main method public static void string args string args. Okay, so inside the class I want to create the object of the class that is processor, but here processor class is available inside the class CPU. So we need to first create the object of the class CPU, that is class CPU. Object name is here C, new CPU. C equals the object of class CPU. Okay, C variable holds the object of class CPU. Okay, next I will create the object of the processor. So CPU, here the processor class is available in CPU class, means class inside the class. Outer class is CPU and inner class is processor. So how to create the object of the processor? See here, outer class is CPU. Okay, inside the CPU we have class that is processor, CPU dot processor. Next I will create object that is P. Next object of the class CPU, outer class C dot new and processor. Okay, next what I will do is I will call a method that is get cache with help of the p dot get cache. Okay, so this is the simple program. Here I have created the class CPU. Inside the class CPU I have created another class that is processor. Inside the class processor I have declared 4 and manufacturers variables and one method that is get cache, and I am printing the message inside the get cache method that is hi hello. So I want to create the object of the class processor. First we need to create the object of the class C, and after that CPU. How to create the object of the class P here, processor how to create the object of processor class here, CPU, because processor class is available inside the CPU dot processor, and name of the object that is P, and object of the outer class C, and new constructor of processor class. How to call the process P dot get cache. Okay, so this is the program. Let's move to the notepad. Okay, I will create a class CPU. Inside the class CPU, I will create another class that is class processor. Okay, for that I will create a variable. Okay, so I will not create any variable, just I will make to the simple class processor. Inside the class processor I will create a method that is, else I will make addition of two numbers. Here I will declare two variables, that is int a. For a I will assign 10, and for b I will assign 15. Okay, so I will create the method in processor, class processor, void, and okay, so this is the public, our class is also public, and method is also in public, accessible anywhere. Okay, inside the add I will make addition of the number system dot out dot print 11. addition of two number is a plus b. Okay, so here I have created the class that is CPU, and inside the class CPU I have declared two variables, that is a and b. I am assigned value 10 and 20 respectively. Here I have inside the class CPU I have created another class, that is the class processor. Inside the class processor I have declared a method add, which is in public. Inside the add I am just making the addition operation. Okay, so here I want to create the object of the class processor, or we need to create the object of the class CPU first, that is outer class, and then we need to go for the processor class. Okay, how to create the object? Here is OptiPress and here class is Press. Okay, so next what I will do is I will create another class which contains the main method class test nested. This is called a nested class. Inside the test nested class I will create a main method public static void string yes. Okay, here first we need to create the object of the class CPU C new CPU. Next we need to go for the inner class, that is processor. How to create the object of processor? CPU class, because processor class is available in CPU. Processor, the name of the variable, that is P, equal to object of the class CPU C dot new processor. Okay, next I will call the add method, which is available in the processor class. How to call the method? I will create the forget to create the object of class processor P dot add. Okay, save the program. How to save the program? Just go to the type press Ctrl S. Okay, so here my class name is test nested dot java. Okay, save the file. Go to command prompt. Okay, E drive Java C pass me test nested dot Java. There is no any errors. Open the prompt Java test nested. Okay, additional number is 30. So this is about the nested class inside the class called as nested class. How to create the object of the class? First we need to create the object of the outer class, and then we need to go for the inner class. So this is about the nested class. Thank you for watching. This is